Good evening and welcome to the Hemingway Jones live fountain pen show. This is our little corner of the internet where we talk about fountain pens, inks, journals and journaling, just about anything and everything that will keep you inspired. Welcome. We have a lot of fun in store for you tonight. Tonight we're going to go down a list of fountain pen people problems, the sort of problems that only people who are passionate about their fountain pens can relate to or imagine. I think you'll get a kick out of it, and you may have some of your own, and if you do, please leave it in either the chat or the comments. We do this show live just about every week. Sometimes I take weeks off. Even I need to rest sometimes. But when we do, we often have a great group. We always have a great group of people in the chat. It's usually many of the same people. Some new people join us. It's really fun. So if you have a chance to join us live, check out the chat. You'll meet some great friends and see some lovely people like Chris Signs. Hi, Chris. Hope you're well. Great to see everyone. Everyone is always so supportive on this channel, very positive. This channel is designed to be a positive place where people can share their ideas without recriminations or judgments. It's all about pens. So if you watch this show each week, I would encourage you to subscribe so you can keep up with when we go live and when I release new videos. I release new videos usually on Thursdays, and bonus videos I usually put out on the weekend. So we have a lot to cover tonight, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get to it. I do like to speak about some things first. For one, going to set up another camera, which I'm going to hold by hand. I didn't have a chance to set it up this evening, but I want to show you my new lamp. I got a new lamp. So if you recall, I got the new desk, and the lamp I had on my desk was not very bright. So I ordered this. I'm trying to keep it in frame. Bear with me. Not too bad for handheld. So this is hand blown from Venice, and it's in the shape, I guess, is somebody out there in the comments tell me which flower. I was hoping it was a calla lily, but I'm not so sure. It doesn't quite fold in on itself, maybe a little bit, but very pretty. It's on a very nice base, but the best reason is it gives a lot of light. So I was a little light deprived with the IKEA light I was using. So I'm very excited about this lamp. It took them about a month to make it, and they shipped it, of course, from Venice. And you could only buy two, and I only needed one. So I actually have the extra one in the dining room. So I'm very happy about that. So I got a new lamp, and then there's something else I want to show you. This is kind of the ongoing project here in the study. So here's the study. You guys know I painted. Do you notice anything? Do you notice anything different? We finally got curtains. So I forever have wanted curtains. It's a little bit of a challenge to put curtains on a door. And these are beautiful. My wife did a wonderful job. They're kind of translucent, so light will get through. You can see the color of paint that we used to paint. And now we have curtains. So I'm excited about that too. Why is that exciting to me? Because sometimes if you notice, if you go and look at some of my videos, you'll see light flashing on my face if someone drives by, or if my Jeep is parked outside, one of my Jeeps, and the light reflects a certain way, it'll hit my face funny while I'm trying to record. So that was one reason, and just for aesthetics too. I'm going to show you one last thing. I mentioned last week how I have been filling up the shelves. So these are the new shelves that are across from me. So they're getting kind of full. Kind of full. So there you have it. And if you look on this middle shelf, do you see that white box there right next to it? is a package that's sort of half unwrapped just beneath the skull. Do you see it there? So I'm going to tell you what that is. So that, my friends, is probably the most amazing journal I have ever seen in my life. And I can't wait to show it to you. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge because I couldn't find any B-roll. I wanted to do a video on this journal and then on bookbinding. And I probably still will, but I'll only be able to show you the journal because the artist that made this journal, no, I can't. It's half wrapped up, but I'm going to make a video very soon. But the artist who made it from Bottega Obscura on Etsy, Bottega Obscura, he just sent it to me randomly just to thank me for inspiring him. It was the loveliest thing. It was a total surprise. This thing is the finest journal I've ever seen. It is beautiful. The craftsmanship, the extra detail, the paper, the marbling, the gold, my initials, the binding, the size. It is extraordinary. I am just bowled over. But I did ask him, I said, do you have any videos of yourself making them that maybe I could use for B-roll? And he's such an artist. He doesn't do that. He feels like, I don't know why he doesn't do it. He just doesn't do it. I'm about to put motivations into him. I don't want to do that. It's his to decide. But he is such a talented guy, such a lovely guy, such a good friend. And it's just so nice that he, he'll randomly send me a journal. So I can't wait to show it to you. So you're going to see a video on that soon. Hi, Allie J. Did you see some of the ones I told you about? So Allie J and I speak on Instagram about books because she says anytime I mention a book, it makes her a little poorer because she has to purchase it. But she's also lovely and sends me books. In fact, I have a new video coming up on a book that she sent me as well. So we have some exciting stuff going on in the channel. Lady Manx says about the Bottega Obscura journal, it must be something if some of your other journals are pretty cool. Thanks. And I'll show you. The one he sent is similar to this one. But, as awesome as this one is, the one he sent is 10 times more amazing than this one. That's what's blown me over on it. It's so extraordinary. He's such an artist. I love artisanal things. I just love it so much. So I don't know if you can tell, but I am wearing the t-shirt. I have to show you guys this. I am wearing the t-shirt that's behind me in the thumbnail. So I did that on purpose. So if you look at the thumbnail for tonight's episode, it has that wood block. So there we have it. I see a Chiro's here, my good friend. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about some things, some stuff, and some things. As it relates to the channel, we reached 25,000 people on this journey with us. So that's a huge milestone. Happy to have each of you with me. I don't take it lightly. I intend to make very interesting videos to keep you here and keep you happy. And keep me happy. Because it's a lot of fun. So, there we have it. Thank you all 25,000 of you. I never thought I'd get to 25,000. I remember, when we started out, I tell this story a lot, but I felt like I was just this little satellite drifting in space, sending messages about pens, about what I thought and what I liked about fountain pens, and no one was listening except for Gino. Gino was listening. Gino's been here since the beginning. Kate was listening. Kate's been with me too. But beside them, they were astronauts floating around in space with me. But it was very, very lonely at first. And I am very sympathetic to new YouTubers. And I do try to feature them on my show and help them as I can. Because I remember what it was like. We're still a small channel, but it's still impressive, and I am humbled by it, and I really appreciate it. So we're going to some fantastic places, guys. Hey, Joe Brown. one of my buddies. How are you, Joe? Good to see you. Joe Brown is a photographer and very active in the local pen community. Helps to put on the Commonwealth show each year. So very, very good. Sandra Harris remembers when I reached 10. Me too. Wasn't that long ago, Sandra. It's amazing. So very, very happy. We've only been doing this for about 3.5 years. So that's not bad. Very, very happy. Okay. So another thing that happened, or almost happened. Do you remember the video I did about a month ago on 5 fountain pens better than the Montblanc 149? Do you remember that video? I loved making that video. It was an absolute blast. I came up with the title first, by the way, because I just knew it was sort of a compelling title. And that happens sometimes. And I do find that when I come up with compelling titles, usually the videos are compelling. But I kind of think that compelling titles are one of the things that makes a video compelling. I'll tell you another time that happened was A Tale of Two Twisbys. It's a really good title. So that was very clickable. But this one, 5 fountain pens better than the Montblanc 149, now has, wait for it, 99,100 views. 99,100 views. So when it gets to 100,000, perhaps it'll get to 100,000. It may not. Sometimes videos are funny on YouTube. They can stop abruptly. It just stops. And I don't know why. And sometimes they'll stop and then they start up again. And so it's really interesting how YouTube works. You guys hear me speaking quite a bit about the algorithm because I'm fascinated by it. It's a problem I'm always trying to solve. Chiro, I don't think it's clickbait though, right? Because I think it's clickbait if you don't. Chiro, if you don't see, I have his title, his comment. He's one of my friends. So he says a compelling title equals clickbait. It can, right? But I feel like it's only clickbait if you don't deliver on the premise. So if you say something like, this pen is solid gold, and then it's not. It's just has a gold clip or something. But like A Tale of Two Twisbys is a great title that was about 2 Twisbys. So, I mean, that's not clickbait, right? Or 5 fountain pens better than Montblanc 149. I made the argument for these 5 pens that they are in some way or always better than the 149. So clickbait just to me is something that gets you to click on it and doesn't deliver on the premise. So there, that's the way I take it. So I do need to recognize someone. Laura Notek with a $3 super sticker. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And a nice little character there. Thank you. That is extremely kind, Laura. I really appreciate you helping to keep the lights on. So thank you. I do appreciate it. Another way to keep the lights on is membership. Membership's a lot of fun. We have Pen Pal group for Cognoscenti and Illuminati members. So come behind the scenes. Love to have you. Okay, so once the 5 fountain pens better than Montblanc 149 hits 100,000, I'll let you know. That would be huge because I've never had a video be viewed by so many people. So I'm very excited about that. So I will let you know. I'm very excited. So that's 2 wonderful things. Thanks again, Laura. You're a superstar. Thank you. Okay, so last week we put up a video called 5 Indestructible Fountain Pens. 5 bomb-proof fountain pens. That was a fun video. I had a blast. I make a pun. I had a blast making that video. And it was breezy, but it was fun. And we spoke about some really hardy fountain pens. Sometimes you watch things, you go back and you're like, oh, maybe I would have done something else. There were a few of my choices that I almost want to do over. But that's one I do part 2s. And it's always fun because for me, some of these videos I did 2 months ago. So I don't always remember all the particulars, and I get to watch them all over again. Usually when someone asks a question that I can't answer because I don't remember, or people will say like, which pocket knife is that in the video? And I'm like, oh man, I remember I had a pocket knife, but I don't remember which one. So I try to put really interesting visuals in those videos, guys. So if there's one bit of it that you don't like, there might be something else interesting to look at. That's the way I look at it. All right, so we have a very exciting week for videos this week because you're getting two. It's a twofer. It's my Easter. It's Easter, right? Isn't it Easter this week? I'm pretty sure. I'm bad at holidays. I live in like a very myopic space, but consider an Easter gift. So Thursday, I have a video on the Working Journal, which is a book that was written by Michael Fielder. Michael Fielder is, I would call him a penman. He is a man passionate about fountain pens, and more specifically his own penmanship. He has refined his penmanship into almost a typeface. The way he does certain letters and trails off. I'm trying to give you guys a lot of tools to refine and develop your handwriting. So we have a conversation. I think it lasts about 40 minutes. Talk about his project and what the Working Journal book is all about. We go through some of the pages. It's fascinating. It's a great book project. And then I show his handwriting and we talk about how he developed it. So here's the part you're really going to like. His choice of nib grind changed his entire handwriting and approach. This one choice changed everything. So we get into that on Thursday. I think you'll find it interesting. There's a lot to learn there, so I think you will love it. Hi, Steve. I hope you don't overdose on Hemingway Jones. I do worry of overexposing myself. Is that a naughty comment? I don't want to be overexposed because I do put out shorts too. I do some book reviews and I do some pen stuff in the shorts and whatever else strikes my mind. So I generally try to do 1 or 2 shorts a week. I do the live, and then I do a video, an event video, like Michael Fielder's video on his handwriting. The nib that changed his life, impacted his handwriting for the better. So I think I called it, I have it written here, Secret Nib Choice That Changed His Life. The second video comes out Saturday at noon. And it's my second New York City video. And this one is our trip, because I take you with me. And our trip, my wife and my daughter. And we go to the Strand Bookshop. The legendary 18 miles of books Strand Bookshop. And I have my little lapel mic on, so the audio is pretty good. For a public place, it's actually really good. And I go around the bookshop, talk about which books we're buying. We buy a bunch of books. And then at the end, there's a little wrap up at the end where I'm back at the Marriott Marquis in Times Square. And I go through all of our treasures. So kind of a bookstore review, book haul. And I also kind of get into a little of my obsessions about books. So, and there are some journals there. We talk about journals, and there's some other stationery related things. So I think you'll enjoy it. So you have two videos to enjoy. It's going to be a good week. 2 videos, says Ali J. Lady Manx loves the Strand. Me too. Lots of love for the Strand. The Strand is a great place. So I had such a great time. Oh yeah, Kurt too. Kurt and I were speaking about this on Instagram. So there you have it. Those are the videos. Please check them out if you would. Keep the channel vibrant. Okay, here's another bit of housekeeping. So I hesitated doing this for a long time, but I've decided to align myself a little bit with the evil Bezos empire and create one of those influencer pages on Amazon. So maybe I can't say I don't sell pens anymore because by some like stretched imagination I do. But here's my thinking behind it, and it's linked now in the description of most of my videos. So if you want to go there. But here's the purpose, okay? You've heard me speak about the nail clippers that I love, certain pocket knives, I've spoken about the glass wipes that I use, I just all kinds, whatever little thing, the paper I write with, the pens that I write with, book reviews that I do, it's all there. So Amazon just gives you that ability to just put everything there, so that you can see it, maybe buy it for yourself. And if you do, it benefits the channel, but you don't have to. I would never, that's not what I'm here for. But it is important, I think, for you to see it. So I show a book, you can go to that one link and then you can see it. And if you buy it at a local bookstore or whatever, at least you know what I'm speaking about. So Amazon is the only site that I can do all that on. So that's the only reason I did it, because most of the stuff that's on there is non-fountain pen. There's a lot of like paper and there's some fountain pens, but you have to keep an eye on those. They have to be good sellers, you know? You can't just put anything up. It has to be a good source. But there's a lot of other really interesting stuff. So that's in my description. I want you to know about that too. Okay. Pretty exciting stuff, guys. How's everyone tonight? Looking at you. Robin Purnell says the controversy. I know, right? If you're talking about my list, I mean, I don't think it's controversial. I think it's really helpful, because I do reference so many things, and I want you guys to be able to follow along. I don't care if you buy it, but at least you can find it. Nice. Dang, I already bought the nail clippers. Name like nobody else, right? I have like 4 of those, and I even lost one. So I have at least 4. Okay. So we are having a lot of fun. I do want to show you again which fountain pens I'm using, because I like to keep you abreast of those, and we can talk briefly about it. I also want to show you that I did that Gravitas video, and I forgot that there's another Gravitas pen in the house, and it's this one, which is absolutely gorgeous. Why didn't I speak about this? Because it's Imogen's, and I saw her with it, and I was like, hey, where did you get that? And she's like, Daddy, the nice man gave it to me at the DC Pen Show. And I'm like, that's right, I forgot. Ben Walsh. I just dropped it. Sorry, Em. These are tough, though. You don't have to worry. Ben Walsh gave it to her, which was so sweet. So, you know, obviously, it undoes, it unscrews, and then posts in. Very lovely, very nice, beautiful work on it. Has the Gravitas symbol, and it's Imogen's. This could have been one of the indestructible fountain pens. I'm sure I could get one in titanium. I'm not sure what this is, to be honest. But he gave it to my daughter, very sweet, and he gave her this little holster for it, too. And I forgot that she had it. But, of course, she was pulling it out to write with it, and I was very impressed. So I asked her if I could show it to you guys. So I'm not this isn't one I'm using. This is one Imogen's using. But super, super cool. And don't worry, it fell on the soft rug beneath me, so I didn't mess up my daughter's pen. Okay, so on my desk, I still have the Lamy 2000. There's a new video going up on the Lamy 2000. I think it's set to air in May. So if you're a fan of the Lamy 2000, that's when you can expect it. I've also been writing quite a bit with this pen. If you can't see it, if you're listening and not watching, this is a very distinctive pen with sort of a tapering triangular clip into a globe of gold, like a golden ball. This is the Mighty Pilot Custom 823, which is kind of winding down on ink. It takes forever to go through the ink on this pen, so I'm excited. I'm probably going to put something brown-ish. I'm thinking cuttlefish brown and beryllium is going into this next. So I've been writing with this quite a bit, journaling with it. I really wanted to get my thoughts and feelings down on this pen because I was going to, and now I have, recorded what I consider to be the definitive video on this pen. It's also one of my longest for one subject. It's a half-hour long, and I did some epic and surprising things, which I will tell you when it gets closer to air time, which is coming up probably in a couple weeks. I'm going to move that ahead on the schedule. Lady Banks with a $20 super chat, helping to keep the lights on. Thank you very much. To celebrate my birthday, but my age, which cannot be mentioned, I've decided I'm aging backwards from now on. Lady Banks, I'm with you. I'm facing a birthday myself very soon. I just realized in like a month, I'll be much older. So thank you for your kindness. You're always so supportive and sweet, and I really appreciate that super chat. Thank you very much. And the lights are still on. Fantastic. Thanks to you. So absolutely brilliant. Oh, and happy birthday. Did I say happy birthday? I hope I did. Happy birthday. And whether you age forwards or backwards, a long time ago, I sort of realized that the only thing worse than aging is not. So aging is a privilege. So all you can do is face it with dignity and grace. And hopefully I hold on to my hair. And you got to age like wine, I guess. But brilliant pen. Lady Manx. Yeah. Lady Manx says to everyone, thank you all, kind people. So glad to have found this community. We're glad we found you. And happiest of birthdays. All right. So what other pens do I have here? It really hasn't changed since last week. Still have the vintage shiny Schaefer with the sort of elongated diamond nib. Just absolutely gorgeous nib. Maybe my most beautiful nib, or certainly most appealing to me. I love that nib. Love this pen. I have midnight blue in it. It writes brilliantly. And a pen that will be going abroad soon. I am heading to Paris, and I am taking the reflections of Paris with me to Paris, because how could I not? So I will be filming with this in Paris, which I'm very excited. Very excited. Can't wait to see the bookshops, the libraries, and the paintings, and the food. That's really what I'm there for. And I will be filming with this. Brilliant pen. Writes great. And then my final pen is the pen that I could sort of get rid of all my pens for. And that is the incredible Waterman Edson, which consequently ran out of ink recently. So I filled it. And it's so great. I put Eclat de Saphir because I'm not very original. And it's just such a good match for this. I think I had Serenity Blue in it before. But the Eclat de Saphir is just absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. Such a great pen. Okay. We've probably spoken enough about my pens. Let's get into these fun fountain pen people problems, shall we? Oh, Jay Walker, that's kind of funny. The Watchman Edsel. I kind of like that. Yeah, that's funny. Instead of Edson. Well done. Okay. So, what I thought would be really fun, and also to sort of break up some of the tensions and some of the heavy topics we cover. We cover a lot of mental health on this channel, a lot of overcoming depression, and we will be revisiting that continually. That's a big part of this channel. But I do like to keep it light sometimes too. I tend to be very light when my wife is around, whenever we bring her on the show. So, and you will see her on Sunday in the video at the Strand, because she hasn't been on as much as she normally is. Okay. So here are some real struggles of fountain pen people. And number one is the quest for the perfect fountain pen. How many of us just think that our next pen is going to satisfy us completely? Sometimes we use that as the rationale for why we purchased it. We just say, boy, if only I had a Mont Blanc 149, my handwriting would be awesome. My whole fountain pen self-image would be satiated. And I would be in fountain pen bliss. And then, of course, you get it and you really like it and it writes fantastic. And then you see the Pelican M1000 with that really soft, flexy nib that writes so well. Oh, if only I had that. So it is so funny how we sometimes tell ourselves it could be the last pen. The Waterman Edison could be my last pen. I mean, there are occasions when I would need something else. There's times you don't want to bring such a precious object out of the house. Although I am considering taking it to Paris with me, because it's Waterman and I feel like it might want to go home. I might take the Charleston, the Edson, and the Reflections of Paris to Paris. And maybe one other. I don't know which. I might have a different pen by then to film with, so who knows. But it's never the end, folks. We think it's going to be our last pen. But is it? No, of course not. Now, that's probably a more obvious one. Let's get into one that's very niche, and I hope you can follow me on this one, okay? I know at least one other person has done this. How many times have you kind of had your pen, and you're writing, and you're talking or something, and you bang it against something? Or maybe somebody. You bang it. Right? And you're not sure if you banged the nib or not. But you definitely banged your pen. And then suddenly, you convince yourself that it doesn't write right. It doesn't write correctly anymore. And you're like, I must have bent the nib. It's got to be messed up. And then you pull your... Do you guys have one of these? Oh, I got to find it. I was playing with it last night. Do you have one of these? This is in my Amazon site. So this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. A loop. You should have one of these, and I have a link to one of these. So you get your loop out and you look at your nib and you go, oh, you know what? It's perfect. Perfectly seated on the feed. Perfectly aligned side to side. It's perfectly aligned this way. I didn't bang it. There's nothing wrong. I probably just hit the grip. There's nothing wrong with it. And yet you write with it and you're still like, I don't know. I think I might have banged it. And then you start to think rationale, like maybe I need to buy a new one. Maybe I need to replace this Vacfil Gravitas with another one. Because it's just not, I know it's just not writing right because I bumped it. Can you guys help me and either comment if you're watching the replay or if you're in the chat? Let me know. Am I wrong? Do you guys do this? Oh, and thanks for all the likes. I see the thumbs up going by. Thank you very much. Have you done this too, or am I just out there by myself? Because it's something I do all the time. I don't even have to bang it. Sometimes I just randomly think, I feel like I messed this nib up. It's just not writing right. I must have, I don't know, hit it on the cap or I pressed too hard. Let me know if I'm out there by myself, but that's something. So here's another one, okay? When a new fountain pen comes out, especially if it looks sort of unremarkable, but everyone's speaking about it, on all the forums, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, everyone's speaking about this new, rainbow smudge collection from, whatever, fountain pen brand, whatever it is. I'm trying not to impugn anyone's reputation. But is there ever a time when this like special edition pen is coming out and you're like, there is nothing special about it at all? It's just a different color. It's the same old pen, same old nib. But everyone is like, I got to order mine. Oh my God, am I going to get it? It's sold out in 27 seconds, but I found a reseller in Tangeria that was able to forward it to me for only $3,000. And you're like, what is all this fuss about? But then at the same time, you're like, should I get one of these? Maybe I should get one, or otherwise I'm going to be left out. I don't know, but I don't care at all about rainbow smudge. I don't even know what rainbow smudge is, but everyone seems to think it's so cool. I usually sit these ones out, ladies and gentlemen, but that is a dilemma. Do you sit it out or do you jump on it? But this is a problem we fountain pen people have. I need it, but I don't. And that's the dilemma. I'm doing this right now in the pocket knife world. There's a really interesting knife from Spyderco, one of the ones made here in the US. It's sort of a wedge blade. It's called a Micro Jimbo, which I really like because it looks like a workhorse sort of knife. Very small, and I can carry it when I'm shredding boxes out in the garage with the recyclables and things. And it has a 15V steel, which is kind of an interesting steel, if I have that right. I think I do. And I'm waiting forever for them to release it. I keep going to Spyderco's site. When are you going to release it? Weeks are going by, and no Micro Jimbo. But could get that rainbow smudge fountain pen. All right, here's another one. This just happened. It happened with the Edson when I went from Serenity Blue to Eclat de Saphir. Should I clean it or not? Sometimes you go Eclat de Saphir to Eclat de Saphir and you want to clean it because you're out of ink. You can clean it. It's a time to clean your pen. You can clean it. Personally, I think we all clean our pens too much. I clean my pens less. Sometimes I mix inks. Sometimes I don't care. Sometimes I have a pen that I really want to write with and it had oxblood in it. And then I go to work and I have Eclat de Saphir and black ink at work. And maybe I go with black. And then I get this really cool black and red mix for a few minutes, an hour as it transitions through. So, but it's that urge to clean your pen any chance you can. Pots and Pen says, I definitely can't afford a pocket knife habit. Too late for me. I wish I could, but Steve, my boy Steve, how are you? I got on the Viper bandwagon. Bought a bunch of them. Oh, but a bunch of them leak. Really? I like the pen, but want to make sure they fixed the leak. QC before getting one again. Wow, I mine doesn't leak. I can tell you that much. I have one. I was happy to do that with Tom Otto. Beautiful, beautiful pen. Was it Tom or? Gosh, my memory fails me. Let me go into another one. I think it was Yost, right, that sent the Viper. Yeah, God, I'm getting old, guys. Here's another one. Here's one you won't miss. Tell me how many of you have done this. Let me know in the comments. Please. How many times do you search for something, for a piece of scrap paper, to try out your fountain pen before you try out your fountain pen? How many times have you done that? Come on, that is a fountain pen people problem. I do that a lot. I just try it out before I try it out sometimes. Or if it's a terrible fountain pen, you do it to get it started. If you ever get a fountain pen with a bad writer. Duke, my man, 1999 super chat. Thank you so much. I see the Shakespeare back there. I always wonder, is there a play you haven't read that you feel like you should have? For me, it's sadly Hamlet, but I'm always curious other ones in this boat. Thank you so much for the 1999 super chat for helping to keep the lights on. I appreciate it. I love a good question. There are plays that I haven't read. Hamlet's not one of them. Hamlet's one of the ones I've obsessed over. So I've read it. I've tried to memorize some of the speeches from it that have spoken to me in a certain way, and I've seen it performed a bunch of times. What I've never read, but I've seen King Lear, and I feel like I should have read that one. I mean, that is a great one, especially as you get older. You appreciate King Lear as you age. So that's one. I've been really obsessed over Julius Caesar lately. A lot of people know that. I mention it quite a bit, and it's in my B-roll. So, but thank you. Great one. Great question. Love it. So, scrap paper, guys. I know you do it. Come on. While we're on paper, how about when you get upset? My voice is going. When you get upset at the office paper that just feathers so terribly. It looks like those fibers that connect mushrooms underground. I forget the term for it, but it's that fibrous look when you feather the page because it's cheap office paper. You go to sign your name and it all melds together practically. It's so feathery. Does that happen? I think it does sometimes. That is definitely a fountain pen person problem. Now, of course, inky hands, inky fingers. I'm pretty clean right now. Amazing. But I almost always have ink on one of my hands. I tend to kind of touch my nibs more than I need to. Maybe that's another fountain pen problem. I'll take a nib and I'll sort of wipe it off on my finger. And I have a really bad habit of doing that when I film. And then I have like inky finger in the B-roll, which doesn't look professional. I also have to moisturize my hands. I try to. Sometimes I get big dry thumb. And then it's like, my thumb looks like the planet Jupiter. Well, maybe Jupiter's not dry enough for my thumb. But it looks very large on a giant television. So, you know, Nate King says I always use my own paper. I hate office paper. Sure, I can appreciate that. I would say, and it's not on my list, but another fountain pen people problem is not lending your pens to anyone and always having a pen so that when those rare occasions you have to sign in the United States of America, our point of sale systems are very backwards in most places, so you still have to sign a check. And they'll give you a pen, and then you go, no. I have a Waterman Edison. How dare you give me a ballpoint? I would never do that. But there's kind of a thought process that's similar where you're like, I'm not touching the communal pen. Yeah, it's just germy and not healthy. So I'm going to use my Waterman Edison to sign this check. And by the way, you sign a bill from the restaurant and it's on that strange like fax paper that your ink then has to dry for like 10 minutes and you're kind of wanting it to dry before you can hand it back to them. Have you ever done that? Now I'm just ad-libbing. I should just chuck my list and just talk. Here's another one that's not on my list. It's so true. At work, I'll sign my name on something and I can't give it back to the person that asked me to sign until I see that it doesn't reflect light anymore. Do you do this? So I'm like, oh, it's reflecting. Come on, gotta dry. Oh, just hold on another couple minutes, okay? No, seriously. No, in like 3 minutes, it'll be fine. I promise you. All right, almost. All right, here you go. It's dry now. Now, just don't touch it, just in case, okay? Don't touch anywhere where I sign, please. Just for like the next, 15, 20 minutes, and then it'll be fine. I know you guys. Come on, am I wrong? Let me know in the comments. Please. Don't leave me up here vulnerable. I'm very upset. You ever get people too that are the opposite? Instead of being fascinated by your fountain pens, they tell you that you're silly for using them and it's outdated technology, because I've met those people. And all I can say is that fountain pens have been very, very good to me in many ways. In making my life more fulfilling. I wouldn't have this channel without them. And ink is the river that runs through my life. I'm learning that more and more. Robert Kalk Jr. says, I use waterproof ink when signing stuff. That's good as well, you should, but, it doesn't mean it dries quickly on paper, right? That's the problem. It's not whether it's smear-proof or waterproof. It's just the fact that it won't dry on, like, some paper, depending on what the finish is, right? Ellie J, Ellie J, you forget how hopeless I am. She says you need a rocking blotter on your desk that will make them wonder. Indeed, the only problem is I'm not good at using those. Anytime I've used a blotter, it just destroys whatever I've written. It doesn't work for me. So, and it's all me. I'm not good at that. Okay. So another one is the whole post not posting thing. Boy, how much time I devote to that. Which pens I post, which pens I don't. And the ones I showed you, the ones I'm using, the Pilot Custom 823 I post. I don't worry about that. I feel like it's made for posting. The Watchman Edson I do not post because it's very long and I'm afraid of messing up that gorgeous barrel. The Quran Reflections of Paris. Sometimes I post it, sometimes I don't. I mostly don't. The Schaefer Legacy, I don't. Wait, no, I do. Because I've had it for 20 years, it really doesn't matter at this point. It's pretty scratched up. Matter of fact, when I was filming with the Pilot Custom 823, and it fills up the whole screen, the cap band, it's going to be an interesting video. We bust a lot of myths and misconceptions. A lot of what you know about that pen is wrong. A lot of the facts that are out there online about it are wrong. I love when I find things out that are long-held beliefs that are wrong. It's so fun. But mine is so scratchy when you see it closed up. But I'm very proud of that. It gets used. So there you have it. Hey, Peg Leg Pirate Rooster doesn't post anything. It's good. I mostly don't. But like 823, I don't care. It's resin. It's fine. Fine. All right, here's another one. When you forget to cap your pen, you get distracted by something else, and it's in the sort of gully on your book that you're writing in. And you do something, you type out a few emails, take a phone call, and then you go back, and then you're like, oh my gosh, how long has that pen been uncapped? I guess it's been about 2 hours. My average phone call is about a half hour at work. So is it going to write? Some pens write right away. It doesn't bother them that they've been on your desk for half the day uncapped. They're just springing back to life. Other fountain pens are like, forget it. I'm done. I dried up hours ago. Where were you when I needed you? All you had to do was put my cap on, and you failed. And now I am going to fail you. So does that happen to you? It happens to me quite a bit, in fact. All right, here's another one that's funny. When you sort of tweak your nibs, whether you have to floss them or realign the tines or whatever little tweak you do, maybe you sand it down a bit, whatever you do, it's never right. Even when it's right, you just feel like I could just tweak it just a little more and then it'll be perfect. But it's probably already perfect. But it doesn't matter because now you're focused on it and you're going to play around with it. So that happens. Ooh, Leo, I see a comment. Leo says, I hate when my pens unscrew in my pocket. My Pelican M200 does that. It's so naughty, that pen. It's so funny. Okay. Yeah, I wrote this down, like how some pens you spend more time cleaning them than writing with them. So especially if you get a vac fill and then you fill it up with the color and then you write with it and then you say, I hate this color. Why did I do this? And then you have this dilemma. Do I put it back in the bottle or do I just waste a milliliter or more of ink that's in this pen? So perhaps you put it back in the bottle and just hope for the best. And then you clean it to put something else in there. And that's a whole nother 15-20 minute adventure, as you know. A very lovely super chat. $4.99 from Chris Black. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. That is very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. Helping to keep the lights on from Chris Black. Good guys are Chris Black, and I appreciate it. Good stuff. Okay, let's find another one. See if it's funny. I think it's funny. Oh boy, yeah. So this one goes out to all the Ferris wheel press users of their inks. That whole paranoia that I'm going to absolutely tip my ink over filling up with it. Even the J. Bond bottles, the classic ones with the pen holder. I often, for some pens like the Watchman Edson's a big pen, I have to tip it once there's not much ink in there. And I'm tipping it at a precarious angle. And my fear is it's going to topple because, in fact, it could easily topple, especially for me. I topple things all the time. So it's very, very possible. The first wheel press, same way. Very narrow ink bottles, very pretty, but they are not very well. They're not very stable. So very easy to pitch them over and create a horrible accident. So that is one thing that you have to do. Here's another thing that maybe only I do. Let me know if I'm out on a limb with this. Where you feel like I have the wrong pen today. I am not this guy today. I brought the Pelikan M1000, but I am dressed a bit more corporate. Where is my Schaefer Legacy? That's the pen I should be using today. Do you ever do that where you feel mismatched to your pen, but you're already out of the house and on your way? That happens to me all the time. So just one of those things that happen. I'm not going to get anywhere near my lips. It's so late already, but we've covered a lot. We might have to save more for another time. Because I want to mention again that there's 2 videos coming this week. The first one is a conversation with Michael Fielder, who's the author of The Working Journal. It's a journaling project, and he has amazing handwriting, and he reveals the secret of how he got it. So I think this is very educational for all of us trying to get better handwriting. Plus, the book is fascinating, and it's this really interesting conversation. He's a very lovely fellow, so I'm very excited for that. Second video on Saturday is my trip to the Strand. The Strand bookstore in New York City. Went a few weeks back. I forget how many now, but had a blast of a time with my family. Got a nice book haul, all sorts of things. So a lot of fun there. Very, very good time. Also, if you've reached this point, please subscribe if you haven't already, because evidently you enjoy the channel, and I'd love for you to be able to keep in close touch so you know when future videos are coming out, because they're coming out all the time. By the way, I just bought a 100 milliliter bottle of Gerabon Clay de Saphir. I'm going to fill up the little one. I'm going to fill up my inkwell, which hasn't been filled in quite some time. Very excited. I love this thing, but it's empty. It's quite empty. So it will be lovely to have ink in there again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of a long journey. It went so fast. Lady Mank says I could do a part 2. I think I may have to. This was one of the fastest hours I ever spent with you lovely, lovely, beautiful people. you guys keep me inspired. You keep me motivated. I hope I help to do the same for you. So thanks so much for being here, for watching, for all your kind support. Here's to the future. Here's to more fun videos. Here's to all of you. So thanks again. I can promise you one thing. I promise you this. We will see each other. Oh my gosh, Michael Rowley getting it in under the wire. 1999 super chat. Thank you, Michael. Ordered Ferris wheel press Lord of the Rings inks today via Kickstarter. Normal looking bottle. Well, it's hooray for them putting in a normal bottle. Michael Rowley, lovely guy, big supporter of the channel, very nice fellow. Thank you so much. Well, and thank you all. I promise you, we'll see each other again very soon, further up the road. So take care and thanks.